Day, Israel. Today's video will be the start of our Uncle Daniel chapter 11 understanding, because it encompasses everything we have gleaned thus far and much, much more. I will need to be in and out and agile with my flow. In this case to me, hit it a little here, come back up out of it to get more scripture understanding, and come back and hit it again until we complete it. To start, I want to begin showing you chapter 11 is not only dealing with the different factions of angelic metaphysicals that have manifested themselves and now live amongst mankind, but this chapter is also talking about the monsters and the giants from the netherworld as well. Let's begin, shall we? Please turn to Uncle Daniel chapter 11 in the Septuagint. And because I'm focused on a particular subject, let's start at verse 8. Don't worry, eventually we will read it from top to bottom. Listen closely. Quote, "But out of the flower of her root there shall arise one on his place." Listen up. "And shall come against the host, comma, and shall enter into the strongholds of the king of the north, comma, and shall fight against them and prevail." Stop. Bingo. So as you can clearly hear, by it saying, quote, "and shall come against the host, comma, and shall enter into the strongholds of the king of the north, comma, and shall fight against them," that can only mean, just like other scriptures tells us the Assyrian will stomp out the stars of heaven who descend upon the earth, this scripture talks about a similar event of an angelic host and king of the north being defeated. I know this understanding is correct because of what the scripture says next. Perceptual context. Remember our recent Infinity Wars discovery? You remember when we found out there was not only going to be an angelic invasion, but the netherworldians were going to be upon the earth at the exact same time? Not only that, and what I want you to concentrate on, we discovered the fallen angels were going to make the horrified puny humans make idol images of each of them. I can't hear your answer because this is a video. But if you remember those discoveries, listen closely. Verse 8, quote, "But out of the flower of her root there shall arise one on his place, and shall come against the host, and shall enter into the strongholds of the king of the north, and shall fight against them and prevail. Yea, he shall carry with a body of captives into Egypt their gods with their molten images, and all their precious vessels of silver and gold, and he shall last longer than the king of the north." Stop. Bingo. Why bingo, you ponder? Well, if the scripture says, quote, "Yea, he shall carry with a body of captives into Egypt their gods with their molten images," to me, that can only mean we just backed up scripture squared. In this case to mean, 1, actual fallen angels will be manifested upon the earth with their molten likenesses, and 2, my God word be true, in that there is a real live evildoer behind each molten image. But wait! For that was only the first tricky part. Let's continue to check out the first big fig Newton. Listen closely. Verse 9. Quote, "Yea, he shall carry with a body of captives into Egypt their gods with their molten images, and all their precious vessels of silver and gold, and he shall last longer than the king of the north. And he, the netherworldian, shall enter into the kingdom of the king of the south, comma, and shall return to his own land." Stop. Bingo. So as you can plainly and clearly hear, maybe not clearly, I mess up a lot, but when the scripture said, quote, And he, the Netherworldian, shall enter into the kingdom of the king of the south, and shall return to his own land. That can only mean the subject is not the king of the south, but instead is using the king of the south's kingdom as an above the ground base. Can you dig it? Be advised, we are not identifying the host / angelic power behind each king yet. We must get more understanding elsewhere before we can successfully separate the spiritual from the physical. If you haven't said, oh hell no, scribe, oh hell no, and can go with me, let's continue for more clues, shall we? Verse 10. Listen closely. Quote, and he, the Netherworldian, shall enter into the kingdom of the king of the south, and shall return to his own land. And his sons, with an S, shall gather a multitude among many. And one of the sons with a multitude of the Netherworldians, shall certainly come on top of the earth, and overflow, and pass through, and he shall rest, and collect his strength. Remember this guy, we're going to come back to him. And the king of the south shall be greatly enraged, and shall come forth, and shall war with the king of the north. And he, north king, shall raise a great multitude. But the multitude, north king's men, the king escapes, shall be delivered into his, south king's, hand. And he, south king, shall take the multitude, and his heart shall be exalted, and he shall cast down many thousands, but he shall not prevail. For the king of the north shall return on top of the earth, and bring a multitude greater than the former. Now it fast forwards to the end days. And at the end of the time of years, talking about Ezekiel 39, an invading army shall come with a great force and with much substance. A Wonderwaffen that will destroy America as well. Now it switches back to the beginning. Quote, and in those times many shall rise up against the king of the south, and the children of the spoilers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish division, and they shall fail. And the king of the north shall come into Israel, and cast up a mound, and take strong cities, and the arms of the king of the south shall withstand. And his chosen ones, the weak Israeli super soldiers made by Nineveh, shall rise up, but there shall be no strength to stand. And he, north king, that comes in against him, the south king, shall do accordingly to his will, and there is no one to stand before him. And he shall stand in the land of beauty, and it shall be consumed by his hand. Stop. Bingo! The Israelis will be one of the first kingdoms to be eaten and taken captive by the netherworld monsters, which can only mean they are going to throw down on us at the beginning. But as the scriptures attest, we shall escape it. But don't get happy, because the scriptures also attest we will see them coming from Jerusalem to eat 2/3 of you as well. But let's continue for more clues, shall we?